Hi everybody, my name is Jan from the Tricky Tracks development team. Welcome to this new DevLog video. Today we want to talk about something very special. Not only special for us, but also special for the development of the game itself. It is special because this topic, that I'm gonna talk about in a few minutes, don't worry, is a serious step or an important step towards a serious game. We will talk about a very important illustration that is currently made for us. Okay, he's talking about illustration. What does that mean? Of course, we are creating images for our project, but creating an illustration is something different. Of course, we create assets, textures, sprites that are used all over in our game. An illustration is most likely not used inside of the game, like textures and sprites and so on, but for another very, very important part of developing a game, and that is marketing. As a game developer or programmer like me, marketing is something, I don't know, I'm not good at it. Of course, there are so many resources that you can find online. How do you market your game? What do you need to do when it comes to marketing and so on and so on. But doing something for several years now, like programming and game development, and then coming to a completely new topic, well, that's difficult. So, of course, we have Rain, the second part in the Tricky Tracks team, and she's the one who is responsible for the beautiful stuff. But nevertheless, doing an illustration and doing it on this scale, like it is now made for us, is something completely different. And here we come to another very important part. This illustration is not made by us. We gave it to an external company, so they prepare it for us, they do it for us, we pay them, and hopefully, and I'm very confident in it, we get a very high quality illustration. Yeah, for what? For what do we need this kind of illustration? Before I jump into the illustration and I show you how the process actually looks like, what do we get, what kind of sketches do we get, I'll show you everything in a minute. Let's talk about why we did this decision in the first place. If you develop a game nowadays, it will be very hard to get your game out there, to get attention for your game, and that's mostly because there are so many games released every day, every week. So if you are a regular player looking at your Steam list, looking at recommendation lists, you are so overwhelmed by all the games that are new. Maybe you are the kind of person that says, hey, I want to try out new stuff, but I don't have the time to look through hundreds and thousands new games that get released every week. So naturally, everyone who is looking through Steam has some kind of filter already in his brain, and some unconscious filtering mechanism that already filters out games that might not seem very good or, just get scrolled over. So you need something that sticks out. You need something that when you scroll over it, your brain goes, what's that? That looks interesting. And most likely that's some kind of image. It's a GIF, it's an image. Especially for Steam, it's the little capsule image, so-called capsule image. And if this image looks great, catches your eye, looks like high production value, and so on, you have a very good chance that someone clicks on it, goes to your Steam page, and that's a very good thing. You want that. So what we did was we asked on several different Discord communities we are in, where it is about developing a game. Some other game developers are there, and we simply asked, hey, do you know some kind of agency, 2D art agency? Do you have some recommendations? Maybe in Germany, as we are a Germany-based studio. We are two persons developing a game right now. And pretty soon we got a recommendation for a company called Gentleland. A small you could say, art indie company based in Germany. And the owner of this company was also on this Discord server, in this Discord channel. So very quickly we developed some kind of contact. We talked about it. We talked about the project, what we had in mind. It was a very nice first contact. We very quickly got into the details. We're talking freely about what we had in mind, the pricing, etc., etc. So it developed very naturally and almost fluently into a serious contract and order. We ordered them to do this kind of stuff. And yeah, of course, this kind of illustration costs money. It's not cheap, but because this is such an important thing to have a good representation all packed into one very good, great illustration that you can show others, that is your thing to give others, and that catches their eye and yeah, just gets the player to your game. Because, as I said, it is very hard to stick out these days. So yeah, it's currently the biggest investment we did for Tricky Tracks. Of course, there are some others, buying asset from the asset store. But this, well, yes, that is something different. But as I said, we are confident that it is worth it. So now enough of the chit-chat, let's jump right into the illustrations. I'll show you what we have until now, because the whole process is not finished yet. We are around, I would say, honestly, I don't know, around 50% done, and we already have iterations that I can show you, and I'll tell you about the story. How did we feel when we first got our first sketch, our first thumbnail, or even 4 thumbnails, and well, I'll show you, and I'll talk about how it all developed. So we're gonna jump into these 4 thumbnails we are seeing here right now, but let me just say one thing real quick. In the end, I'm gonna talk about Gentleland, the company we are working with, and tell you a little bit about it. But now let us have a look at the 4 thumbnails we are seeing here. The so-called thumbnails are basically sketches, scribbles that we got from Gentleland, and they are a great way to find which style we want, which image compositing we want, which characters do we want inside our illustration. And before they create an already done illustration and we say, oh, the perspective is not quite right, the first iterations go through thumbnails, and with every thumbnail we get a little bit closer to the final illustration, and later on there will be color, and then it is about shading until we reach the final image. So these 4 images, A, B, C and D, were the first thing we got from Gentleland. And I do remember quite well, it was an evening, we were just finished with dinner, and Jackie, the owner of Gentleland, wrote us on Discord, hey, here's our first set of thumbnails, have a look at it, please send us feedback, and so on and so on. And I grabbed my smartphone and was like, what? We were so overwhelmed with the already high production value these 4 thumbnails have and had, that we were so hyped about our game, and motivation raised up, and yeah, basically right now looking at it is almost like looking at it at the first time. It makes me smile, it makes me happy, and I see it as something very special. Of course, we had to choose one of the 4 thumbnails, A, B, C or D, and well, yeah, the whole evening we were sitting there on our couch, had the preview on our TV, and we were discussing what is better in A, what is better in B and C and D, what we liked, what we don't like. And the overall result was, let us go with A. But let me tell you what we thought about it. Pretty quickly, we both thought that A and B were the 2 images we liked the most. C and D are very good for themselves, no doubt, but especially for A and B, we had that kind of feeling that this illustration has something special. It might be the lighting, it might be the perspective, it might be the characters. And A and B both seem to combine or represent an aspect of Tricky Tracks that is very important. And the thing is that they both represent very different aspects of Tricky Tracks. A is very action loaded, very dynamic. It seems very exciting. It is about running away, the exciting and thrilling part of running away. And image B is about the more quiet, more subtle part of Tricky Tracks, hiding your footprints or tracking them down, hiding yourself and searching for the others. So two different sides of the same coin, both really, really good. Both have a very, very good mood. But we decided we will go with A. Because imagine you scroll through Steam and you see image after image after image, and then you see image A. Very dynamic, eye-catching, things are happening in this image. I'm already involved looking at it. Because it's a loud image, if you can say so. B is more like subtle, quiet, and the first moment to get the player on your Steam page is the most important one. You need to be, you need to be some kind of loud. You need to catch their eye, catch their attention. And we think version A is the image that delivers this the most. The good thing is we can keep all the thumbnails, we can use them, we can improve them ourselves. Rain is very much capable of coloring them, maybe adding a little bit or doing here and there some work, some additional work. So very good that we have them. Okay, that was the first version. Now let's get to the second one. Second iteration based on the decision and the feedback that we gave Jackie, Gentleland. And now let's see what the second iteration is. Okay, second iteration, as we told them, hey, we're kind of unsure if A or B. They took these two thumbnails and made an improved version of it, including our feedback. So as you can see in A, we have a slightly bigger perspective. We see the microwave a bit more, and we see the aspect of searching for footprints with two additional characters. That is Sir Locke and the dwarf you see in the cup hiding. He or she has no name yet. And you see the logos. So our feedback was, hey, could you add into A the aspect of hiding and seeking a bit more so that we kind of get both sides of the medal in one image? Action, dynamicness, and the more quiet, subtle search and hide aspect. This is the result of A, and they also added our logo to variant B with more footprints. You see a foot of Sir Locke there, and just to have some kind of comparison, I think. Again, we sat down to gather feedback, and we again were very happy with the results, to see the progress and to see our dream coming alive in form of this illustration, and to see the images we had in our head become this and becoming live. That's very epic. And one thing that affects especially me as a programmer, as someone who is very bad at arts, I never thought that it would be possible to bring our ideas and the text we wrote into something that looks like we thought of. Of course, this is a result of me not being able to draw, and I can't comprehend this process of having an idea, getting a pencil and a sheet of paper and bringing it to life. I'll never understand it, and that's the reason why I am so overwhelmed by this illustration, because the look is exactly what we want. Of course, we gathered some examples in which style, in which direction we are looking, but seeing this is great. Okay, and again we gathered our feedback, gave it to Jackie, to Gentleland, and now we come to the third and most recent iteration. Now it comes to color. Oh, if it wasn't clear, we decided again for A with some adjustments. And here we have it, the version in color. And adding color to an illustration is something else. Again, looking at these images, I immediately have to smile. I'm immediately excited and motivated, and well, it basically makes me happy. Again, Jackie told us, hey, look at our new iteration. We took your feedback, added color. Please tell us what you think about it and choose a version which the next iteration is based on. And we again choose for A with some little adjustments. As you can see, the cucumber, Benedict, our hero cucumber is named Benedict, is jumping again and not swinging on a rope or a cable, because we thought that this might imply a mechanic that Tricky Tracks does not have, and jumping out of the frame like this is very dynamic. It's enough, it's very good, and we like it very much this way. We also love the coloring, warm and cold colors. They choose the colors from our two teams, Seeker and Runner. The coloring and lighting inside the microwave looks awesome. The only thing we added was, hey, could Benedict in thumbnail A look a bit greener, like, let's say, B or C? That is more like a cucumber and not like a pickle. And yeah, now we are waiting for the fourth iteration. And by the way, I also love how the water splashes in the sink, how the fork is flying away and the carrot, and it's just, it's so good. I'm very keen, I'm very happy to see the next iteration. We also like how they look, the facial expressions are on point, and yeah, if I had to imagine this as a Steam capsule image, I would say we can already take it. To be honest, I already use version A in my stream, in the panels, or on some other spots, because it already looks this awesome, and it's just a very, very good illustration. And with every iteration, the price that we have to pay for this whole illustration gets put into perspective. It's worth it. Yeah. Okay, that's it for the illustrations. That's all the thumbnails we have right now. The next iteration, I think, will come next week. And of course, we will show it to you. But I think we will gather some more iterations so that I can show you 2 or 3 like in this video. So please be patient. I don't know how fast we can achieve the final illustration, but of course, we will update you on our Discord, on Twitter, and with a new devlog video. And as I said, now let's talk a bit about Gentleland, because why not? We had and have good experiences with Gentleland and Jackie, the owner, and why not support each other a bit and show what Gentleland is about. So as I said, it's a art company based in Germany. You can find them on gentleland.net. Link is in the description, of course. And of course, you can also have a look at their portfolio, behance.net/Gentleland, and have a look what they are doing right now, because right now they are developing a steampunk UI that will land in the Unity Asset Store pretty soon, I think, and well, you should have a look at it. And if you say, hey, that looks good, I like it, feel free to contact Gentleland, feel free to contact Jackie, and yeah, maybe you also like what they can do for you. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you liked the illustrations. I know we did very much. And of course, I hope you liked this video. If you want to follow the development of Tricky Tracks, feel free to join our Discord. All links are in the descriptions. Or as in the very first, I think, teaser video, all inks are in the descriptions. Very nice typo. Yeah, feel free to follow us. We would love to see you and to discuss the development, each and every single detail. We always love to talk to our community about developing the game, about details, about new skills. Right now we are in the process of converting our characters into heroes so that we might have some kind of hero-based hide-and-seek game. We will tell you about it in a different devlog video, that's for sure. And yeah, there are so many questions that we would like to discuss with our player base and with our community, so that this well-known, hey, we want to develop our game with the community, it's really a thing here at Tricky Tracks. Okay, until next time, I would love to see you there. Bye bye. And they represent very, and they both represent, and they both represent. Ich kann nicht mehr sprechen. And they both represent. They both represent. They both represent.